So what's up everybody, Black Clover 326 fan translations are out. This chapter was very emotional, yet also very insightful. I saw some things in the chapter that was very interesting that could lead into possible future events. It's interesting to see what is going on with Asta and 𝙬𝚑, how the relationship got closer, and it looks like Asta has reached a new level of devil union, which could lead to new attacks. Lastly, in the fan translation, it looks like Asta grew a new horn, which is something we're going to talk about. So let's get into this. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, like, comment. 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎 hit me with some false copyright strikes, so I'm rebuilding the channel, trying to get it back to 5,000. So to the old subscribers that are seeing my videos and they're asking why they're not subscribed, I did not boot you. This is literally a new channel. Regardless if you're new or old, a like, comment, subscribe is highly appreciated. Watch out for the Patreon. It's going to go live up soon. Also, I'm going to have a Discord because some of you guys have been trying to post links of the spoilers, and some of you guys were wondering where I'm getting the spoilers from. Just to let you know, I'm not blocking any of the links that you guys post for the spoilers. It's really just YouTube. So moving forward, I will have a Discord. Should be up sometime by next week. I'll let you guys know officially. So this chapter was very interesting. It was very emotional seeing 𝙬𝚑 and what has happened to him. I really like that we got to see a different side to 𝙬𝚑 because we knew he was feeling bad that 𝙬𝚙𝚎 died, but this whole time he's been blaming himself as to that whole event that led to his mom dying. A lot of people kept asking, why hasn't 𝙬𝚑 told Asta that's his mom? I'm pretty sure the reason why 𝙬𝚑 hasn't told Asta that's his mom is because 𝙬𝚑 still feels responsible for the death of 𝙬𝚙𝚎. So that being said, it makes sense that 𝙬𝚑 is not just gonna blurt out saying, hey, I knew your mother and she died trying to save me while I was possessed by 𝙬𝚙𝚎. So it's not something that can just be talked about that quickly, even if Asta learned his memories. Obviously, 𝙬𝚙𝚎 is saving that conversation for a reason. Literally, the chapter starts off seconds as to what happened in chapter 325. Yuno is going down for the count. Yuno looks like he might still be able to do something because you do see a star by 𝙬𝚙𝚎 as he's going down. I said this in the prediction video, but I think that it's possible that Yuno has 2 tanks of mana. So the elf spirit that's inside him, he has that mana, and then he has his own mana, which is the star magic. I think that's probably what's going to happen here, or possibly Gray heals him. Yuno does seem like he's completely spent, but don't count him out just yet. Na and Yami does an interesting combination spell. They do basically the shadow clone jutsu. I don't know if you guys kind of saw that. It's kind of a shout out to Naruto because obviously they're doing shadows, but then also doing the double anger, and it's basically just cloning them by using shadows. Na and Yami, they look the same, and they both have William Vengeance sword. However, 𝙬𝚙𝚎 being the boss devil that he is, he just turned his wings into arms. I thought that 𝙬𝚙𝚎 grew an extra pair of arms, but he just turned his wings into arms. So it makes me wonder if he can have 3 pairs of arms. I said this in a spoiler video. 𝙬𝚙𝚎 in a lot of Judeo-Christianity texts, he is known to have 6 wings. So it's kind of interesting to see that he can transform his wings into arms. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow 𝙬𝚙𝚎 can have 3 pairs of arms, which would be like 6. Yami and Not get stabbed in the stomach. It seems like 𝙬𝚙𝚎 literally has this thing for stabbing people in the stomach. It's the same thing he did to 𝙬𝚙𝚎 and the same thing he did with 𝙬𝚘. He enjoys this for some reason. It's kind of worrisome seeing Yami and Not having like literally hands going through their body, but we all know they're probably not gonna die. The way Not had the conversation earlier with Yami, I don't think he's gonna die. Yami could die, but to be real with you, the possibility of Yami actually dying is very small because 1, Yami is one of the favorite characters in Black Clover. 2, we need to go to his country because we were told that Yami's katana was made in his country, and Yami right now does not have a real sword. He only has that William Vengeance sword. So it doesn't make sense for him to be killed off when it's kind of leading to an arc going to Yami's homeland. And while this is happening, 𝙬𝚙𝚎 is basically about to punch Asta. This is something that kind of pulled my heartstrings because I know people that have dealt with PTSD, and 𝙬𝚑 does seem to be suffering that because when 𝙬𝚑 got him stabbed through the stomach, he had that same memory of 𝙬𝚙𝚎, and now that Not and Yami got stabbed in the stomach as well, this brought memories to 𝙬𝚑. It's clear that 𝙬𝚑 still blames himself. I I kind of like that because it gives a better depth to 𝙬𝚌 as a character. You have to give props to 𝙬𝚙𝚅 because 𝙬𝚌 at the beginning of the show, we didn't really know who 𝙬𝚌 was. We just knew there was possibly a devil in the 5-leaf clover grimoire. And then when he first was shown in the witch's forest, he seemed kind of like an arrogant prick and he just wanted to take over Asta's body. We didn't really knew what his intentions were. We just thought he was just a typical devil that was just trying to manipulate Asta. And then Asta confronts 𝙬𝚌, and 𝙬𝚌 still has that somewhat superior complex to Asta, but also wanting his body to where he is now. You gotta admit, that is a really good character development on 𝙬𝚙𝚅's part. As a character, I'm really liking 𝙬𝚌. The more we get to see him, the more we get to learn how he struggled in the underworld. As Asta is going through 𝙬𝚌's memories, you kind of see basically the whole flashback in one panel. This is beautiful. I really can't wait till this panel is animated because this is gonna look really nice. It's actually kind of interesting. Has anybody noticed that Asta has to do with memories? This is something similar to what happened to 𝚘𝚘. When Asta had to go inside 𝚘𝚘's memories, Asta literally went through 𝚘𝚘's memories. He learned about the Wizard King being dead and all that stuff. Something about Asta has to do with memories. I don't know what is the link with it, but it's looking like it's becoming a common theme throughout the story. Maybe Asta is the shining light towards the bad past or the dark past, because obviously 𝚘𝚘 had a dark past, and technically Asta pulled him out of his dark place in his memories. Something similar to what happened to 𝙬𝚌 in this chapter. And Asta was compared to Morgan by not. Literally, Morgan means morning. I mentioned this in other videos, but something tells me that maybe anti-magic has been a blessing to 𝙬𝚌 through possibly the gods. Because when 𝙬𝚌 was in the grimoire, it's never been explained how 𝙬𝚌 was able to develop anti-magic. Anti-magic, he just developed it by cursing devils. So it makes me wonder, do devils get powers from cursing other people? We know that Magicla was basically one of the forefounders of curse magic in the Black Clover universe or world. I say was, but there's still a possibility that Magicla is still alive somewhere. Does cursing devils and having all that hatred and malice cause devils to create a power to get power up, or is it a blessing from divine beings? And I wonder, is that something that Asta will probably produce himself later on in the future? That'd be very interesting if Asta can just produce anti-magic without 𝙬𝚌's help. But obviously when 𝙬𝚌 and Asta get together in Devil Union, the anti-magic gets stronger by 100-fold. It's very heartful seeing 𝙬𝚌 cry, and for whatever reason Asta and 𝙬𝚌 get back to the child form. I'm not sure why this is the case, but it does give it like a more organic feel, because at the end of the day we know that these two are brothers. It's a shame that they didn't grow up with each other, and it's a shame that both of them lost their mom. I've seen a lot of pictures where people wanted 𝙬𝚌, Asta, and 𝚤𝚙𝚅 being together, where 𝙬𝚌 is a kid and Asta is a kid and 𝚤𝚙𝚅's in the middle, and then having like a family dinner. I liked how Asta actually gave thanks to 𝙬𝚌. He basically says, I wouldn't be able to do what I did without you, and I'm really glad that I met you. 𝙬𝚌 figures out that he's no longer alone. He has his brother. But as they get together and they start moving forward, the Devil Union perfects. Looks like Asta's actually blocking Lucifero's punch with the 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚅𝚛 katana. Basically the same way Yami blocked Lucifero's attack when Lucifero was, I guess, in his base form. Asta did the same somewhat, but with the 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚅𝚛 katana, which is kind of cool comparison if you think about it. The last panel is very interesting because it looks like Asta got an extra horn. Of course, this is the fan translations, so the scans aren't always the best. We're gonna have to see when the officials are out, but it looks like Asta may have gotten another horn. And I did say this in other videos, but notice how the number 5 is very apparent in Asta's Devil Union. We see Asta have 5 horns, supposedly, and Asta has technically 5 clover dots on his chest. The Devil Union can only been with 5 minutes. Each minute he has like an extra clover, and he has a 5-leaf clover. Then you see on his chest he basically has a 5-point star, which is basically the sign of 𝚤𝚘𝚅. It's very interesting to see that, because I wonder if this is implicating that Asta and 𝙬𝚌, when they're in devil form, they have something to do with the 𝚤𝚘𝚅. Funny enough, the 𝚤𝚘𝚅 is always being portrayed as the devil, especially in satanic temples. Obviously we know that Asta's fighting the Devil King. What happens if 𝙬𝚌 and Asta does defeat Lucifero in some way, and then who's going to be the Devil King then? Will it be 𝙬𝚌 technically? Because 𝙬𝚌 with Asta killed the Devil King, or at least got rid of him. Would that mean that 𝙬𝚌 will raise up in rank? The whole ranking system with devils is very interesting, because we were told that devils were born the rank they were, and they were like go up or down, they just are that rank. Makes me wonder, at this point 𝙬𝚌's rank should have raised up by now, because with the help of Asta he's defeating these high ranking devils like Zagrath and these supreme devils like Lilith and Nahima. Is 𝙬𝚌 eventually going to get a higher ranking? Also, when you see Asta's headband, when he's in normal state, the lines kind of seem like it's half, but and then when he goes into the Devil Union, Asta's head headband looks like a crown. So I found that very interesting itself. Symbolically, it's like with Asta's headband with the Devil Union, which looks kind of like a crown. He's basically looks like he's devil royalty in the Devil Union, and they're fighting the King of Devils. So it's like they're fighting for the new title of the Devil King. So yes, that's basically all I have to say about this chapter. Let me know what you think is gonna happen moving forward, Black Clover. Let me know what you think about this chapter. What do you think is Asta connection with the number 5? It's constantly being thrown in our face. Do you think Yuno is out for the count, or do you think Yuno is gonna somehow bounce back up? Do you think Asta's headband has some type of significant meaning to it? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.